This is eggplant.
Really?
Yeah, and it's actually related to
Oh my gosh,
the
look.
tomato potato plant. Look at that flower, it's beautiful. And you got a little egg, yeah, there you go.
Wow.
These are collard greens. So I just go and look at the bottom leaves, right? And then just take that leaf and just push down and maybe twist a bit.
Okay. Can I call myself a farmer after this?
Well, you're starting helping.
I'm one piece of the puzzle.
Well, right, that's interesting that you say, right? Because there's preparing the soil, there's getting the plants ready, there's planting, managing it, and harvesting, and then taking it to market. And then I think people don't realize they're part of the food system because they take it home and eat it, right? And that's really part of that whole system. These are for you.
This is awesome. Thanks.
Thanks for coming out and seeing the community here. You know?
I am so excited.
Yes Farm's right in the middle of the city. It's also really an intersection of Seattle's history as well. You think about the early settlers. Yesler had a mill down Yesler, and he logged off the original forests that had been maintained for thousands of years by the indigenous folks that lived here, right? So they've been displaced. And now we're sort of in this next level of people moving. The community center is really the center of the community here. We have a good relation with Yesler Community Center.
I would love if we could start by you sharing the mission of Black Farmers Collective.
Our mission really for me is to develop some Black leadership on the land, you know, to have some inclusive spaces, but to really elevate that leadership. There's being outside, being with nature, understanding the connections, stress relief of being there, building community around the growing of food.
You know, in the minds of many people, a farmer is a white person. Right? Can you talk about how is the work that you're doing hoping to deconstruct that idea?
We've, you know, been acculturated to think about things that might be very, very good for us, right? As not being something for us.
Definitely.
I think a lot of folks in this country, especially my parents' generation and the generation before, did a lot of work to get off the land, right? And there's a lot of pain about thinking about what farming was and what the slave-based economy in the United States was, right? But I think now more and more younger people are realizing that there are some great advantages to that, right? To be able to have a job where you're connected to nature, connected to the land, you're a producer.
You said something really powerful about, you know, our ancestors did everything they could to get away from the land. And now here we are reclaiming the land. Could you say a bit more about that?
Yeah, well, and I think not only that is that part of the history that we're taught has been to minimize, right, the contributions of Black people in the United States, right? And so, you know, we're not taught that the country basically was fed by the people that already knew how to grow rice that were brought over here, right? We're not really taught about that. We're taught that there was this minimal sort of only labor around cotton. In order to maintain this white supremacy, you can't talk about the good. And so we all learn about the bad, and then we feel that, well, I don't want to do that work. So, and it's hard work being a farmer. You know, it's not for everybody, but I think if we could teach young people a little bit about it, get young people out there. I mean, the experiences that you learn growing something can be translated to so many other things.
Can you just describe to me or explain what is food justice?
For me, food justice is getting more and more people to be able to eat better and better food and feel better about what they eat, be more connected to what they eat. We've really been separated from our food, right? What we've created a situation where the people that grow our food are lower second class, you know, not even eligible for minimum wage, right? And not everyone is going to grow all their own food, and not everyone can eat fresh vegetables all the time, right? And you understand we have a lot of people, and so we need processed foods and things.
Well, I am ready to farm.
Hey, that's great.
So how far from Yesler Community Center to Yesler?
It's just about 2 blocks.
The juxtaposition of heading to a farm in the middle of this scene is wild to me.
It's crazy the amount of construction that's happening right now. That's a big environmental impact on us and the neighbors, right?
Yeah.
I mean, eventually it'll be all built up and it'll be more housing, right, and more amenities.
Can you tell me about the noise? It's almost impossible to talk, to think in this space.
So yeah, noise is a real issue here. We're in the middle of the city and there are definitely a lot of environmental impacts.
How do you see potential in this space?
Well, right, I think that's a piece of being able to take a look at something and see what it might be. Yeah, that comes from experience of being places and seeing what someone else can do. So you get a vision of what might be. And then practice of actually turning spaces into gardens, then you start to see it. And here we have a little pepper plant.
Oh, the kale.
Yes,
I know
there you
kale.
go. One of the many varieties, curly kale, right?
Yeah.
Here we have tomatoes. This is basil, sweet basil, so
Oh, that's good.
that's a nice herb. Green bean plants growing up here.
Yeah.
Mint.
Awesome. Thank you for that, because all of this just looks like plants to me.
As you're in the garden, you start to see not only the difference of the kinds of food plants, but you're going through and you see the leaves of a weed. You feel confident about pulling it out because you can actually tell the difference. And that's just experience, right?
Well, thank you so
You're
much
welcome.
for this
Thanks
tour.
for coming down to the farm.
This
It's
will
really
not
been a
be
great-
my last time. Thank you
Thanks.
so much, Ray.
Great to see you. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thanks.
Hear more about this episode on the Out and Back with Alison, Mariella, Désir podcast. Just search Out and Back wherever you listen.
Fleet Feet is on a mission to inspire the runner and everyone and is proud to sponsor Crosscuts Out and Back with Alison, Mariella, Désir.